the wealthy countries that participated in it to produce a lot more goods and a lot more services for each hour of labor. So now there were huge disparities in productivity between these two countries, between these two parts of the world, I should say. The third world countries, so-called, the less developed, the poor countries, in 1913 accounted for 7.5% of the world's industrial production. India, China, Malaysia, Indonesia, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, all of these countries together accounted now for only 7.5% of world industrial production. And we, the United States, Canada, Germany, France, England, and so on, accounted for 90%. We were 7 times richer in 1913 than in 1750. By we, I mean the 12 rich countries of the world. 7 times richer on average. And in the rest of the world, per capita income dropped drastically between 1750 and 1913. In other words, the countries of the third world, the less developed part of the world, were producing less than 1/3 as much per person as their ancestors had produced 6 generations earlier in 1750. So something happened. Something happened between about 1750 and 1913. Some countries, about a dozen of them, soared ahead thanks to the Industrial Revolution. Others did not. And don't think this is just an economic phenomenon, please. I want to backtrack a little bit. You notice I skipped a few slides a little earlier. Don't think this is just an economic phenomenon. Other things happen when people get richer, when they go from abject poverty to a higher standard of living. One of the things that takes place is that people's life expectancy increases. That is to say, people live longer, a lot longer. In the middle of the 18th century, life expectancy in Europe was somewhere between 35 and 40 years. A child at birth could expect to live that long. Of course, some people lived a lot longer, particularly wealthier people, but on average you could expect to live about 35 to 40 years. Now, in a rich country in Western Europe, you can expect to live 80 years. So your lifespan, on average, has doubled. Let's take a look at a short 2-minute film which illustrates this. Pay careful attention. 2 minutes will go quickly.